Language, much like music, strikes the chords under all circumstances. It's something we keenly relate to through a concoction of emotions, whether that is silent or manifest. And to unravel the layers and beauty of words, there could be none better than Mr. Dhruv Sehgal himself, a passionate actor, writer, director, and a YouTube sensation. Mr. Dhruv Sehgal is a favorite among the country's youth. He has a great number of artistic achievements to his credit. We are all a fan of his spot on acting skills in Little Things on Netflix and his comedy sketches such as Confusing Things Girlfriend Does on Digital Awards. He has also worked as an assistant director for the documentary Bavra Man and I Am Offended. Today, we wish to be lost in his all time rapturing masterclass in literature. Without any further ado, I welcome his esteemed presence to conduct an ever absorbing drive on the road to creative writing and storytelling whilst exploring the most beautiful facets of life. Over to you, sir.
Hi guys. Oh, wow, am I the only one without the red background? Uh, yeah, this is gonna be a little awkward if I don't hear anyone talking to me back. It'll seem kind of weird to just talk. If there's anyone, even one person or more than one person who's comfortable in opening their microphones and I think it'd be nice. It'd be a little more interactive. Otherwise,
Yeah,
uh,
sure, sir. We have a
yeah.
panel. We'll be sort of interacting with them. And yeah, we'll also be putting forth questions, if any, from our audience.
Okay. The audience can the audience small interruption. I've called for coffee and it should be here in a second. Uh, Having said that, we can begin. First of all, thank you so much uh, for making me do this. And my coffee is here. 5, 4, 3, 2. Of course. Yeah, so thank you very much for inviting me and making me do this.
It's completely our honor, sir. It's
अरे
completely
नहीं
our
नहीं
honor.
यार. Hope you guys are safe and hope your families are all okay. Um, so how do I share my screen? By clicking share screen, right?
Yeah, we'll just connect you to our team. I guess you'll get an option. We'll just make you the panelist. I guess you are the panelist already.
Okay,
You'll
then
get an
one
option
second.
to share the screen. Yeah.
Desktop 1, share. This is the first time I'm doing it. I'm sharing my screen. Otherwise, I ask somebody else to do it. So if there are so many technical glitches here and there, yeah. Can everyone see? Writing for web?
Yes, sir. We are able to see the screen.
Okay. Uh, Guys, I really need more people to kind of unmute themselves because this is an interactive one. Huh? Otherwise, how we think and why we think the ways we think.
Yes, sir, sure, sir. We'll try to make this as interactive a discussion as we could.
Yeah. So can we have more people who can unmute themselves? Is there a problem in doing that?
No, sir.
Okay, so writing for web. Okay, so writing for web, right? Anyway, so is there anything like writing for web? Of course, there is. There is putting my phone on silent. There is something known as episodes and structures and all of that. But before all of that, how many of you are genuinely interested in writing? Like just okay, cool. A lot of people have raised hands. Yeah, I don't know what I did, but I can see.
I guess
okay.
there are a lot of.
Sweet, great. Okay, so for those who are not interested in writing, and for those who are interested in writing, I think this is not just about writing, but it's about. No, it is about writing. I'm gonna sound like a prick if I make it sound more important than it really is. But maybe it's about. It's also about how to differentiate yourself in some way and how to kind of take pride in the personality that you are in. I'll get more to that somewhere in the middle of the conversation. But okay, so we'll start. Writing for web or writing, is there a difference? Yes, of course, there is a lot of difference. There are episodes, and we have to start the episode in a certain way. We have to end it in a certain way. So it's very different from a prose and poetry and film writing per se. So there are all kinds of stories. Yeah, there are all kinds of stories in the world. There's a story like this, Kya Cool Hai Hum, which I thought was very funny back then. But now I realize every day that there are so many problems in the world, and maybe I should think a lot before even laughing these days. But it was a funny film, and there's this kind of a film. Then there is Inception, and usually when I do this at an engineering college, all the engineers go like, "Oh yeah," they start clapping for no reason. I don't know why. But so there's Inception. There's a sci-fi film. There's a TV show also like Kasauti Zindagi Ke, which my mother loved. The first part, I don't think she's seen the second one. In fact, I also used to watch it with her. I don't know why. I thought it wasn't that bad, to be very honest. And then there is this also, which is Bhagwan. It's a documentary that I worked on. I shamelessly plug this documentary because nobody has seen this documentary. I spent 3.5 years working on this documentary as an associate director and editor. And sadly, more people would have seen a stupid Instagram story of a cat that I put yesterday than who have seen a documentary that people have worked so hard on. But it's a great documentary. It's on YouTube. If you're ever interested in what it is to be a filmmaker in a city like Bombay, or rather an artist in a big city like Bombay, you guys should watch this. It's very beautiful. It's very personal. It's very sensitive and honest. So there are all kinds of stories in the world, right? There are TV shows, there are sports documentaries, there are radio plays. Everything is a story, right? But is there a common link to each and every story in the world? Can you guys think of a common link that is there in each and every story?
Writing.
Yeah, for sure. Writing is a big common link. Some directors don't believe in writers, and especially some producers, they don't believe in writers, but I guess some form of writing is definitely involved in each and every storytelling. Any other common link, guys?
The desire to express or communicate and engage people.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a very good one. Anything else?
A good ending, maybe.
Yeah, good ending.
Emotional connect.
Absolutely. All are correct answers. Good ending, emotional connect. Yeah, I'm really sorry. Can you see everything that I can see? Like, can you see the chat box that I've opened?
No, sir, we can't see the chat box.
So what can you guys see?
We can see the PPT.
Okay, now I'm figuring out how to just remove this chat box. 1 second now. Okay, I removed it. Now I'm gonna see some of the faces also. So yes, all are correct answers. Trying to have an emotional connect, trying to have an engaging end, trying for some form of writing that should be involved. So all of these are correct answers. In my experience, there has been a common link, and it comes in the form of, Ram. And not here to offend any religious sentiments, but I'll quickly take you over a very, very funny, not funny, but a very interesting anecdote that had happened. And when my grandfather passed away. So I'm Hindu Punjabi, which basically means half of my family is from Punjab, Pakistan, and half of my family is from UP, India. So we are Hindu Punjabis. हम गुरुद्वारा भी जाते हैं और वैष्णो देवी भी जाते हैं, and मतलब हम सब कुछ करते हैं. And so हमारे यहाँ एक ceremony होती है, पगड़ी ceremony. Are you guys aware of it? Pagdi ceremony in funerals. It's basically when the eldest member of the family passes away. So the eldest son gets to wear some form of a symbolic pagdi, and that is a sign of that he's the new head of the family, right? So ऐसा सब कुछ हो रहा था. And during those 3 days, everything was a blur because the first time I attended a funeral of someone that I really like. I don't know, it was the first time I also attended the funeral. So there, the Pandit said something very interesting. He said that he was saying stories from Gita and Mahabharata. So one of the stories that he said was, when Ramji, and I don't know in what context he said this story, but I remember it very clearly. He said that when Ramji went to Lanka, and the first time when he killed a human being of Ravan ka Sena, he was very upset. He was really, really sad, and he's like, "What the fuck am I doing in life? Kya kar raha hu? Why am I killing people and all that? This is not nice." So he was going through this whole existential crisis. So he told Lakshman and Hanuman and everybody else that I'm going to go and take this body to this person's house and ask for forgiveness. So he does this. He takes the body of the soldier and takes it all the way to the interiors of Lanka and asks for forgiveness. And the wife sees this body and she starts crying. She's like, "What the fuck is this? Aise kaise mar gaye. And Ramji's like, "Oh, for no reason, I don't know. But वो चालू बन रहे थे तो उन्होंने पूछ लिया कि अरे why are you crying?" So she says, "Hey, you killed my husband. You killed my husband by the name of XYZ." So Ram is like, there are millions of people in this world by the same name, so you shouldn't feel sad about it. Then Ramji said, "So why are you crying?" And this lady says, "Well, I'm crying because this guy's body is not going to move ever." And then Ramji said, "Well, this body was never his. It was a vessel in which I filled life. So how can you cry about something which was never actually his?" Then she said, "Oh, well, I'm crying because this guy's soul is dead." And then Ramji said, "Well, Atma na marti hai, wo sat jivan amar rehti hai." So this woman gets really irritated and she says, "I have no fucking idea why am I crying. You tell me why am I crying." So Ramji says that you're crying because तेरे आदमी के अंदर की इच्छा मर गई है. And when he said that, the Pandit, I just got up from my days and I'm like, wow, this is just amazing. Because the first rule of writing, which is written by Aristotle thousands of years ago in this book called Poetics, the first rule of writing is that every story and every character needs to have a desire. And that is what defines a character, and that is what defines us also, And one of the reasons why I find writing to be a beautiful profession, and not just profession, a beautiful form of art or communication or something in life is because it is so closely related to life that somehow it's very difficult for you to disassociate. And then, because if the first rule of writing is to define the desire of this person, and that's what Ramji said, kiske andar ki ichha mar gayi hai. It is just like us, all of us here sitting here right now, we have a desire in life. We want to do something, we want to live something, we want to be something. Even if we don't want to do something, even that's a desire. We are nothing but our desires, And that is the first rule of writing. Each story has a character that has a desire. Sometimes, like in the case of something like a documentary like Animal Planet, which is about penguins and birds and all, even there you see an animal has a desire. The penguin is searching for a mate and we relate to it. And the baby is lost and the baby's gonna die because the mother can't find him. And the narrator himself has a desire to tell you this beautiful world that exists beyond our lives. So every story starts, ends, and is just seeped in desire, much like the lives that we lead. Our lives are full of desire. So another word for desire is objective. So objective, every character has a desire, every character has an objective of the character, just like how we have one. So guys, any examples of a film where you clearly know what the objective or the desire of a character is? Any film?
So like you said, Inception. So it was the lead actor's desire to, go away, to reunite with his children.
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. Any other couple of more examples, guys?
Yes, so we have a lot of answers pouring in the chat box. Like,
Oh, wait,
my name
let
is
me-
Khan, Masan, and again, Lagan,
Yeah.
Third, American Psycho, Mirzapur.
Ariyat, where can I see all this?
You'll have the option to access
Of
the chat
chat.
box. I
Yeah.
guess.
Okay. Oh, sweet. Okay, so people are there. This is just like an audition where you're performing, not knowing what is being thought about you. Yeah, cool. So, yeah. So, Piku, to take care of a father, to take care of a father and sort of become her own woman. And she feels maybe that she's not being able to do that because she has to take care of her father. So, it's that tussle. So, those of you who've answered, I don't know, I think somebody said American Psycho. Can somebody, whoever this person was, Shreyans, can you tell what is the objective of this character in American Psycho? Any more messages? Yeah, guys, don't tell me the name of the films. Tell me the desire. So Vivek Surendra listening had the desire to get away with home loan and help his family. Absolutely. So yeah, okay, all right answers. But next time, just Bunny wanted to explore the world in Ye Jawani Hai Diwani. Yeah, okay. Ye Jawani for Naina to be able to express herself, to be part of the group, and not to feel like an outsider.
Like say it was in Game of Thrones. Like
say that
everyone
again?
wanted, like everyone wanted the throne in Game of Thrones. Like they all have agendas and all.
Yeah, exactly. So, that's how stories are told when you define somebody's desire. But the desire was to discover one's own identity and regain her self-respect. Absolutely, bang on. So we have to Munna Bhai to make his father proud and vengeance of Asthana. Yes, I read it as Asthana. Bala movie wanted hair. Absolutely. Okay, guys, we'll move on. So define the objectives very, very clearly. Can somebody tell an objective that they have in their lives? Just for the kick of it. I'm not like, this is not at all related to this presentation. Any? To find my objective is my objective. You will never find your objective if you don't, if you are finding your objective. Yeah, okay, cool. So I guess nobody wants to share what their desires are in real life. To earn for my family can be a well-suited, happy at every moment, creating an app like Amazon. Great, nice, amazing. My objective is to live a happy life, be happy with what I have. To write a book, satisfaction, make a company to make a work, to meet the same person, wow, to be content with what I've achieved. Okay, perfect, amazing, exploring world, yeah. Fuck man, all of us are very similar. I've never found any diversity in human beings. To learn different languages, that's a beautiful one. Okay, so we got to define the objectives very, very carefully. And it's okay if the character herself or himself does not know the objective, but you should know. Have you met people in life who say, "मुझे पता नहीं यार मुझे क्या करना है, but कुछ तो करना है." You know, so it's okay if the character himself or herself does not know, but you should know. Guys, come on. Example of a film where the character does not know what his or her objective is.
Wake up, Sid.
Tamasa.
Yeah, one more example, guys. Come on.
I guess even Three Idiots, wherein they all sort of go into an engineering college without ever knowing what they wanted to do, and later on, with the aid of their friend, they sort of discover that.
Sir, I
guess.
think one more example would be Goodfellas.
Jab
I
we
haven't
met.
seen Goodfella. Jab we met, yeah. Oh, you guys are a different crowd because usually people say Wake Up Sid, Tamasha, and Ye Jawani Hi Diwani. Basically, all Ranbir Kapoor films. Like Ranbir Kapoor in all his films is just this guy who has no objective before the interval, and post the interval he suddenly has objective. So. Yeah, so there are these examples of film. Lakshay, beautiful example. Have people seen this film, Lunchbox?
Yes.
And it's a beautiful film. My most favorite film, and here we have a character who does not know what his objective is in life because really does not have much to live for. And then suddenly he gets this food dabba, and he starts sort of thinking about life. But we as an audience for a long time have been thinking that, okay, so, Sajan and Ela will probably be together and they will have a romantic life and all that shit. But it doesn't turn out like that. There's a beautiful moment where before he meets Ela for the first time, he's getting ready and he leaves, and on the way to meeting her, he has this monologue. Today I wanted to, before coming, I took a shower, and as I left the bathroom, I walked back inside, and I realized that my bathroom smelled exactly like how it did when my grandfather used to take a shower. And he looks at himself in the mirror and he says, "When did I grow old? When did I grow old?" And suddenly the finiteness of life hits him. That, he can't chase things. He can't chase love again. All he needs to do is embrace life with whatever is left. His wife is dead. There may not be love. And he may be stuck in this job. And what does he do? He goes back to the train, the everydayness of his life. He just embraces life once more, So we don't know what his objective is till the very last point. And we come to that his objective is to just embrace life once more. And this whole journey, this whole film was about that moment, somebody who doesn't love his life ends up loving his life. It's really, really beautiful. Unlike a lot of Ranbir Kapoor films, where it's so obvious, isko kuch nahi pata, but suddenly isko pata hai. But how do you make objective desire or desires interesting? Any question? Any answers?
Thinking of something which is unexplored.
Sir, I think by any character doing something that is not very much like his nature.
Yeah.
So maybe because watching the people's doing different thing in the world's fascinating by people.
Yes, वो भी हो सकता है. Good example of that is Walter Mitty. For those of you who have seen it.
Well, maybe the idea of the character itself coming from someone who's not expected to do what they're doing or achieve what they're wanting to achieve. Just like in Lunchbox, the person is not really expected to, search for some desire in their life, but they are working for it.
Yeah. Okay, now let's flip the question.
To create a social change.
Sorry?
To create a social change.
By showing the character hustle.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Achieving small goals in the desires or objective.
Yeah, ask yourself, you have desires, you want to achieve things in life, but how does life become interesting? Of course,
by showing the person hustle for
bang
something.
on, so you only two rules of writing, guys. There's objective, there's obstacle. There's really nothing to it. Everything else is how you play with this. And it's not something that I've written. It's not something that Ram ever said to someone like that, but it is there written in the books of storytelling called Aristotle's Poetics. thousands of years ago, and that's how all stories in the world are made or can be analyzed even if they're not made like that. इसका ऑब्जेक्टिव क्या है और इसका ऑब्स्टेकल क्या है, ये अपने ऑब्स्टेकल को कैसे हराएगा, इसने ये ऑब्स्टेकल हरा दिया बट इसको पता चला ये तो इसका ऑब्स्टेकल था ही नहीं, इसका ऑब्स्टेकल इसके अंदर है, फिर ये उसको कैसे निकालेगा एंड फिर इससे उसका ऑब्जेक्टिव क्या निकलेगा. सारी की सारी राइटिंग का खेल ही यही है. सो obstacles. Now, all of us will just pay attention to this lovely, handsome human being called Rahul Dravid for like a minute and just admire him. So my favorite cricketer, my favorite part of childhood, so much so that I realized that I hated cricket because the day he retired, I never saw it. And I thought I was in love with cricket, but it wasn't the case. So here he is, right? This charming man, struggling to continue to play. But this image, so what's Dravid's objective here?
Keep batting.
To keep batting, to not get out. What's his obstacle?
Stay on the crease as long as possible.
What's his obstacle?
The bowlers.
Fast bowlers.
Yeah. Or the ball, right? The red colored cherry ball that is there. That's the obstacle that he has, or the opportunity, depending on how you look at it. But in this particular image, he's ducking from that ball. Now, will this image have any meaning without the ball?
No.
Any story have any meaning in it without any obstacles in it?
Never.
Never, right? So you see how everything just relates to it, and it's amazing because it is one of the most lifelike professions, right? That you have objectives, you have obstacles just in life. So now what do we do? But why are obstacles important in life and in writing?
To make it.
एक तो एक वो कहानी को इंटरेस्टिंग बनाता है, but उसके अलावा उसका क्या मकसद है?
To make us value things we achieve.
Yes.
Yeah.
To learn from
And
our
also
own
sort of
own
evolve the character
improvement.
because
Character development.
obstacles help, the character evolve over time from what he was in the beginning to
Absolutely. Yeah,
So
absolutely.
make
Be the
Okay.
better version of
Oh.
itself.
Yeah. I keep going back to the funeral story, but I'm not trying to milk my grandfather's death. But
They also
I always thought that my
call-
father is a very, very, very pavam. I don't know whether you know that word or not. It basically means very. It's not exactly lallu, but it's soft. Like he's a very soft nature guy. He's a very softy from inside. He's a beautiful, soft man. And I thought that when his father dies, he'll be a mess. But he wasn't a mess. He really held it together. And that was the time when I realized that my father has serious inner strength, So obstacles really tell us who we are, It's not the desires sometimes, because everybody wants to travel the world. Everybody wants to live a good life. Everybody wants to be happy. But how we get to that point and how we are facing these obstacles is what really defines us, right?
Obstacles let us to learn new things.
Exactly. So it shows the real caliber of the man or the woman. It shows their truth, like how they define Dravid. Amongst the many ways they define the wolf who lived for the pack, right? So the way we tackle obstacles defines the character. Now, examples. Come on, movie time. Examples of films before and after the obstacle.
Thappad.
A very famous one for the invention of that bulb. Before that, that Thomas Edison tried it for 100 times, but then he succeeded.
In the movie Rockstar, Sir Janardhan Jakkad, he was before something else, and after he was completely transformed.
Iron Man.
All the
Yeah.
movies.
Let's pick out some.
That for Geeta Fogart also, his parents.
Dangal.
Only
Tony also.
Going mythologically, even the Pandavas.
particularly like Koi Mil Gaya, wherein Rohit was someone else before he met the alien from some other planet, and afterwards again it evolved into another series.
So what did it tell about Rohit?
life is not easy without obstacles and not interesting too.
Yeah. See, the problem is in bad films, obstacles only have one purpose, which is to show the hero in a great light. कि देखो ये इतना weak नहीं था, हमने तुम्हें चूतिया बनाया. He is actually a smart guy. He's actually a good guy. And he's actually intelligent. But those are your simple Bollywood films where they kind of like Bollywood autobiographies. They're the worst, right? Because their only attempt is to tell you that this guy is good, this guy is great. Bhag Milka Bhag and all those films. But some film like a Lunchbox, when he has an obstacle, you realize that the idea is not to show the character that he's a good guy or he has inner strength. Is to say something more about life and say something more about the film. Any other example of a film where the objective of the obstacle was not to show that this hero is, but to show a better show to say something interesting?
Sir, I think Masan would be an example.
So tell me, in Masan, how would it work in Masan?
I think like after the death of in the bus accident in Masan, he does not become a better version of himself. He simply accepts what his reality is and goes into the government job.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kabir Singh can be an example, sir.
I haven't seen the film, but what would you say is the revelation?
Like the director never showed him in a heroic version, which a common movie shows. Like he had his share of problems, like he was alcoholic, he was abusive, but then he changes into something better version in later on. But he was not shown in a light of heroism.
He was actually shown in a light of heroism.
Toxic
love was glorified.
Yeah, it glorified, no doubt it glorified, but it never in a typical sense of Bollywood style.
It was absolutely a typical sense of Bollywood.
Like he is
style.
all good guy and all. He has all the virtues in himself.
Well, I haven't seen the film, but of course I have opinions about it because maybe I have friends whose opinion I can trust and then I can shamelessly borrow. But yes, he was very lovingly glorified by his director. But that not being the point, any other film, this is not something like I don't have an answer for it, guys. I'm just curious to see how people think.
La La Land. In Kamyab, Sanjay Mishra's character in the starting of movie was very different, but later when he realized about IMDb and his rating in IMDb, and then वो junior artist वाला जो उनका phase आता है, जिसमें he had to do ads and stuff. तो उसके बाद like it's very different. धीरे धीरे उनको जैसे अपनी family की value पता चलती है और वो सारी चीजें.
हाँ, ठीक है.
Tanu Veg Manu Returns can be one example.
Yeah, absolutely. Her obstacle is like so massive.
Queen can be one example.
Yeah, I was just curious of more films where where the obstacle said something beyond that the character is nice.
I think Rajnikantha is a very good example.
Have you seen another round?
I saw it 2 days ago.
So like in the ending, it's not just that the character is nice. It talks about like the life and things, and it's a very nice,
Yeah, most great films do not try to show that the character was great or the character was a good person.
Kai Poche.
Life of Pi could be an example.
I haven't seen it. So what is the end realization that the audience has?
Sir, if I'm not interrupting, I think one movie, Rajnikantha from the late 70s, is a very good example of what you were trying to tell us.
So tell me, Amol Palekar's, right?
Yes, sir. Rajnikantha. Sir, in that movie, sir, the woman faces the obstacle of going back to his college love.
Yeah.
But at the end, she chooses the man she was about to marry before going to Mumbai. That shows us that part.
But what does that tell us?
Sir, like you were saying that the obstacle that didn't change the person about that.
Yeah. Okay. But basically, we know what we're talking about, right?
Can Heather be the example of the situation? Like after he comes to know about his father's death and all these situations that were happening his character completely changed.
Yeah. Character changes, Character changes after after he or she encounters obstacles. I'm just thinking of films where, the job of obstacle is not to glorify the character. And there are plenty of examples. Another Round is there.
What
Aankhon
about
Dekhi is there.
Nightcrawler?
Forrest Gump.
What about the perks of being a wallflower?
I
Have
haven't
you
seen
watched
it.
Tumbad?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
So
La La
even
Land?
that the
So we
character is
have
not
Joe in
perfect.
Little Women
Okay,
as well.
we know that in Tumbad he was very greedy, and the end result of that what turned out to be.
Yeah, absolutely. So it becomes, it's nice. Yeah, 1 second now. 1 second. Hello? Hanji? हाँ ठीक है थैंक हाँ जी 1 सेकेंड होल्ड करो सर 1449 थैंक यू हाँ तो बस ठीक है वी आर आई मीन ठीक है लेट्स मूव ऑन so we have to define obstacles very, very clearly, just like we have to define objectives very, very clearly. And it's totally fine if the obstacles keep changing. Lagan mein the obstacle was first love, then it becomes cricket, then it becomes Lagan, and then it becomes the rat in the pack, then it becomes how to come over that, then it becomes about scoring the 6. So at different points there are obstacles. Of course, the bigger obstacle is Lagan and Amir's coming of age. So this is how I write stories. It's not sometimes as systematic as this, but in some form it becomes this. You write a story. Here's a story about an NRI who left India at the age of 21 because he was very intelligent and he thought that the country is not good enough for him. This is when he was this is set in the 60s. And he becomes a really big deal in America, but he's never been accepted there. Or so he feels. Maybe he is, but he doesn't feel that. So at the age of 65, he comes back to India and he realizes that this is where I'll feel accepted. But the truth is that even here he doesn't feel accepted because people always look at him as an outsider. And then he realizes that the acceptance that he wanted is only going to be given to him at his house. And then the story is about a 65-year-old and a 70-year-old brother-sister relationship. So story ye hai, objective ye hai, obstacle here, and then other notes. That he has a positive impact wherever he goes. He makes sure that he becomes a part of social movements and XYZ. So recap वही है objective obstacles, Now the craft, how do we do this? Now everyone has a story. I think that's extremely empowering. In order to be a doctor, you need to study. In order to be a cricketer, you need to be good at it. In order to be a writer, you may be really bad at it, but the truth is that everyone has a story, right? Good, bad, it doesn't matter. So how do we tell a story? We tell stories through observations. This is a photo I took in Brussels when I was walking with my father. And I just took it for no other reason other than, man, the world is beautiful there. And, but can somebody just describe this image in a word or a phrase? Anything, there is no right, wrong answers. Whatever speaks to you.
Serenity.
Suddenity?
Serenity.
Serenity. Okay. Another one?
Aesthetic.
Peaceful aesthetic. Any other?
Comfortable
Vibes.
silence.
Comfortable, yes. Any other? Light goes on, somebody said.
Comfortable silence.
Yes. Any other? Somebody said emptiness. Any other?
Light.
Great architecture. Nice. Any other?
Dream.
Luster.
Mysterious. So you realize what happened amongst a lot of similar answers, which were peace and serenity. There were also some answers being said like comfortably numb. Somebody says in Mixara. Oh wow, what a nice phrase. Somebody said mysterious. Somebody said emptiness. So what's happening? It's the same image, right, guys? But everyone or people are relating it. Somebody said melancholy. Somebody said So everybody is relating this image in their own personal way, है ना? क्योंकि image तो एक है, but सब उसको एक अपने तरीके से देख रहे हैं, which basically shows that all of us have a way of looking at the world in a different way, you know, from each other. It may be similar, but it's not exactly the same. And that is the beauty of writing also. That is the beauty of life also. That is the beauty of being your own person or having a personality or having a perspective, that you see things in your own way. So when we describe the image, yours and mine will be, your description and my description will be very different. So for me, this image is about companionship. This image is about being there for each other. And it's so different from someone who said emptiness, because mine is the exact opposite, you know. So there is a richness in the diversity that we have, you know. But how is this getting formulated, this thought of emptiness or mysterious or family? Is because we are reflecting it with the memories and the relationships, the past and the family and the love and the dreams that we have. These are all intangible qualities, right? Nobody can really tangibly say that I have 838 memories or I have XYZ relationships and this is my past means this. It's all jumbled in our subconscious, right? And this subconscious is making us think in a particular way. So it basically means that all of us have a different kind of subconscious and all of us can see the world in a different way. Do you know about this world called auteur? Auteur filmmaker? It basically means filmmakers who have their own style and own personality. Like an example of this would be in an Indian setup would be a Kashyap. You see a film and you say, Kashyap ki film hai. You know, and you see a film and you say, this is like Vishal Bharadwaj. So these people have a way of looking at the, or an Imtiaz Zari, you know, these people have a way of looking at life in their own particular way. You know, it becomes very personality driven. So here is something known as the cultural iceberg. I don't know why I put this there. इसका ना बाद में आता है, मैं थोड़ा जंबल हो गया ये कहाँ से आ गया यार, रुको. Okay, थोड़ा messed up हो गया, but it won't be too confusing. So we reflect. Okay, I'm a little confused. Anyway, so here we have something known as the cultural. No, wait. So where was I? That all of us have a way of looking at life in a particular way. Is anyone aware of this place? King Circle, Matunga. Anyone from Bombay in SRCC? What? No one from Bombay? Is that normal? Are all of you from Delhi? Okay, Vaibhavi is from Bombay. So is Ayushi. Okay, sweet. Okay, so Ayushi and Vaibhavi, why is King Circle famous?
Railway.
Railway is whole of Bombay. But Matunga actually has a very interesting railway story. Small digression. Matunga is the only station in Bombay. Matunga Road is the only station in Bombay which has only 2 platforms. Yes, Ayushi knows the answer. Food, Ramashre. So here is this place in Bombay called King Circle in Matunga. It's famous because it has the South Indian eateries which have been there in existence for 40-50 years. However, none of them shut down and all of them do great business. Any answers why? Why are they doing such great business? And how come all of them are working? And how come one is not eating the other? Yeah, how come all of them are coexisting?
Different taste and different way of making food for every other joint.
Bang on. Absolutely. So when you go to King Circle, you say, यार रामाश्रय का रसम वड़ा खाते हैं, but filter coffee तो आनंद भवन की पीते हैं. But अगर उपमा पूड़ी खानी है उसके लिए तो हमें कैफे मद्रास जाना है. However, अगर इडली खानी है तो उसके लिए तो हमें उडुपी भवन जाना है. You know. So the idea is that all of these places have a personality of their own. You know, and that is what we have to do as writers. Our writing has to have a personality. It shouldn't seem generic. You know, that's what we were trying to do with Little Things also, to create a language of its own. It shouldn't seem like any other rom-com. It should feel like, yeah, this is इस शो का एक अपना personality है, like how a lot of people try and do. So by saying that, you know, I have a way of, I have memories, I have relationships, I have past and family, and I have love and dreams. These are all intangible subconsciousness tools that I have. And how I see things, I see them in a particular way, and that needs to be reflected in my craft. And that is what is unique about me, you know. And because if I try to make it like everything else, it's not going to work. It may sell for much more money, but it may not seem unique. It may not speak to people. Now the cultural iceberg. So this is how you can make things unique. It's very interesting. So when we see somebody in the metro, we can imagine the food that that person eats, what kind of dress that person wears on his or her traditional occasions, what are the festivals that he celebrates. But ये तो ऊपर से हमें पता चलता है ना. But in your really rounded films, in your films which are really, really good, you know something more than that. You know what the core values of this person is. What is the role of family for this person? Now think of a good film. I don't know how many of you seen Aankho Dekhi. Oh, have people seen Aankho Dekhi? Okay, what is a good popular film? Okay, think of Dil Chahta Hai. Dil Chahta Hai is a great film. Okay, Dil Chahta Hai, you know the idea of things which are difficult to see. Okay, now the idea of self-concept, that is so strong, you know, in Dil Chahta Hai. What is the concept of self? You know that from Akshay Khanna. What is this idea of self? You know the idea of, say, humor. You know, okay, what do these guys find funny? Because it's friendship. Friendship is nothing but sharing a sense of humor. You know what their core values are. What is the core value of, say, someone like Saif Ali Khan in Dil Chahta Hai? He wants to have a stable relationship, though he thinks that he's a fuckboy. But it's him who will get his friends together. It's him who wants to have a stable life. You know what the concept of pride in Dil Chahta Hai? Aamir Khan has serious pride issues, you know, because his father doesn't trust him. So in a film which is an intelligent or an evolved film, you come to know not just the superficial qualities of life or the person, but you also come to know what are the inner qualities of life. Similar case with Masaan, you know, you can know what the concept of justice is. Like in Dil Chahta Hai, the concept of justice is so strong between the friends, because Akshay Khanna feels that you're being a bad person if you can't understand what my love is, you know. So he feels that a sense of injustice being done to him. You know, the idea of aesthetics also, you know, an idea of personal space and stuff like that. So they're flat films and then they're rounded films. And in your rounded films, these are the things which are very, very interesting. And these are the things which will actually relate to you more than कि अरे वो मेरी तरीके से बात करता है, because that is just prop. So flat films versus rounded films. Can you guys give an example of a flat film and a rounded film? Anyone?
Gangs of New York can be a flat film, and like Fight Club can be a rounded film, maybe.
Maybe. I haven't seen Gangs of New York, but Fight Club is definitely a rounded film. I haven't seen Pieces of Women. Yeah, I've heard a lot about this film. I think it's on the Netflix. It's on Netflix.
Forrest Gump can be a rounded film.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shutter
And
Island.
Abbas Masaan film is an extremely flat film. You know, there is no, you don't know what the characters are. They're just trying to be cool and they're trying to do chalupanti.
What about Mehuna?
I haven't seen it. But of course, it's not as clear cut as this. There are some films which are like start off flat, become rounded, or start rounded, become flat. But upar se, you know the difference between when a film has stayed with you is because something has stayed with you more than something.
Bajrangi Bhaijaan can be the rounded film.
Ae Dil Hai Mushkil can be rounded.
Yeah, I haven't seen Ae Dil Hai Mushkil. I've seen Kapoor and Sons. Kapoor and Sons is definitely a very rounded film. You know the idea of family there. You know the idea of concept of respect there. Things which are not tangible, you know.
Badla can be a rounded film.
I guess haven't seen it, but yeah, it can be rounded. Okay, So moving on. But what is all this about finally? This is where we come to for web writing. For those of you who are interested, I always feel nobody's ever interested in this, but I think I should say it because it's an interesting medium that is happening. Everything is about structure for a web or TV writer. This is how we write stories. This is how we pitch stories to network like an Amazon or a Netflix. You give them a concept. The concept is about, can somebody tell me a random concept? Any concept? Kuch bhi bol do.
Showing nationality.
A young girl with the cancer.
Well, that's not a concept. That's a story.
A live-in relationship.
Inferiority.
Okay, inferiority is a great idea because it's a proper concept. The idea of feeling inferior, the idea of inferiority complex. So that is the concept that we want to understand. Why does Indian middle class feel so inferior and has this serious issue of inferiority complex in the world? You know, like why do we feel so uncomfortable in our own skins? Now, how do we show this in a story? We can show this through a story of a family. We can show this through a story of kids. Through kids, we can show this. Or, you know,
Friends.
4th standard kids, and we do this through their parents, how all of them are just feeling inferior and have this weird competition going on with each other. And no, the inferiority is not only through Britishers, it's because of so many other reasons. It's not that simple anyway. So we'll think of a story, right, that explores the idea of what is inferiority and the concept of inferiority complex, and we'll do research. So say it's about the story is about a school and how this idea of inferiority complex is through parents. So then we'll do research on different schools in India, say in Delhi, the government schools and the private schools and Kendriya Vidyalaya. Then we'll cut into the episodic synopsis. So we start with teachers, but first episode ends with the kids having a terrible fight, and they have a terrible fight because of something that was said by the parents. Cut to the second episode, it's all about the parents of these kids. Cut to the third episode, is the principal trying to fight with other principals. Everybody's just going through sheer inferiority complex. So all of this, when you combine the concept and the story and the episodic synopsis, it comes together in this form called Bible. That is what you pitch. And the first episode of any show is called pilot. And then once you write the pilot, then it's about approvals, you know, from the network, from the showrunners. And then beats is har minute mein kya hota hai. Then it's screenplays, drafts, and more drafts. By the end of writing an entire show, which goes on from anything between 4 months to 5 years, you feel nothing but like a detective. This is the closest analogy to being a writer. You are a mind hunter. Why? Because you know where you have to get to, but you have some clues. You don't have all the clues. And all you have to do is join the dots. And you're sitting day in, day out in an office like this, which full with bodies and minds caffeinated and eating junk and stuff like that, and just, you know, consuming and just thinking about these characters. Literally, you're going from one clue to another clue. So this is the closest of being a writer. But how do you begin? Especially in a world which has attention span ka issues, binging ka issues, OTT, because for writers and for storytellers, my competition is not say a TVF or not say an Amazon ka naya show. My competition is everything that is being consumed on screen. It could be memes, it could be Instagram, it could be Facebook. You know, the world is full of competition because everything is just consumed on laptops and phones and TV. It's so easy to shut the computer or to shut your TV and go on YouTube and watch a cooking video, right? So it brings back to this point that it gets easier if you have a personality of your own, you know, anyway. So the most difficult thing to do in life, according to me, is to have, you know, a personality of your own and to not be influenced, to not be scared to say things that you really believe in, you know. So if you can do that in the way you think of life and in the way you write, maybe there's a chance that you may survive more because at least you'll stand out. That's what I feel. I may be wrong. But there are many ways to begin. So say the story of the idea of being inferior or the belief that we are inferior we can start it through many ways. We can start through the characters. We can see what is okay, so what should be our 5 main characters? 2 kids, 1 teacher, 2 parents, 1 peer, for example. Or we start with the idea of the story. So what if the story is that एक class में 2 बच्चों ने topper को मार डाला, for example, in 8th grade. You know, why did they do that? Because they kept feeling that this guy treats them like absolute shit. So that is the story. The third is that we can be excited by the idea of space. So I'm just very interested in how education works in India. So we just start with the idea of education. So maybe it's not the school, but it's the education ministry that we're focusing on. Or we start with the idea of mystery, you know, that why do Indians feel so inferior in comparison to other people? Then maybe we start with the idea of Britishers or Mughals or other people who invaded us, you know. Or maybe it's none of this, and we are just excited by the idea of the genre, that this is a thriller, or this is supposed to be a comedy, or this is supposed to be romantic, you know, because in romance is the idea of inferiority complex that really comes out so much. So it's all about what resonates with you as a person, and maybe that is a good place to start with, because a lot of people say, yeah, I have an idea, but I don't know where I should start with. But you start, if you divide your idea, you should start with the point which really speaks to you the most. And if you're really being honest and if you're really being true to yourself, you know, you can find your own voice. And that can only happen after decades, I feel. You know, I don't know if you've read books or if you've met people who were, you know, people of the age of our parents say that, you know, I spent my whole life with this man or a woman and I still don't know who this person is. Or I spent 5 years dating this girl and I still get confused that even the hair. No, it's because people maybe never honest and maybe they were never being truthful. So the idea in life is to try and be truthful to yourself and in your craft and in your personality. But always remember objectives and obstacles, because all of this can be very intimidating and daunting when you're trying to write a story. We marry the structure with the character. Now, Breaking Bad. People have seen this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, Breaking Bad is a show about, this is the first episode, guys. Breaking Bad is a show about a guy जो स्कूल में एक टीचर है, शायद केमिस्ट्री का टीचर है, नहीं केमिस्ट्री का ही टीचर है. उसको पहले एपिसोड में पता चलता है उसको कैंसर है. फिर उसको रियलाइज होता है, अरे यार मुझे तो कैंसर है, बट मेरे पास तो पैसे नहीं है, तो मुझे तो कुछ करना पड़ेगा क्योंकि मेरी फैमिली तो सड़क पे आ जाएगी. तो वो एक अपने एक्स स्टूडेंट को मिलता है जो ड्रग डीलर है. उसके साथ वो दुनिया का सबसे स्वादिष्ट meth banata, which is a very highly addictive drug which can really screw you up, and they sell this and he makes more money than he would have ever imagined in his life. फिर बट कॉप्स को पता चलता है, कॉप्स उसके पीछे पड़ जाते हैं और ये पहली लाइफ में पहली बार किसी को मार डालता है और फुली नंगा बस अंडरवेयर पहन के डेजर्ट से शहर भागता है पैसे पकड़ के और घर जाता है and he has sex with his wife because he's happy and he's excited. And he feels like a man. Now, all of this happens in the first episode, you know, as compared to something like this, where really nothing happens, you know. And for those of you who've seen Little Things, here is an episode where the 2 characters spend the entire night just sitting and talking. So we have to marry the idea of the show to the structure of it. You can't have a thriller but very slow, and you can't have a rom-com which is very fast-paced, because it doesn't work like that, you know. So the psyche of the show should match the psyche of the craft, essentially. And when you're writing, you know, it's nice, it may not be an objective for a lot of people, but sometimes it can be an objective to find things which are universal, you know, to find things that resonate. What is, say, Lion King about? Why it is so loved? Like, what is the story of Lion King? Anyone? Like, why does it relate so much to everyone? Titanic. Why is Titanic the biggest film of all times?
because the romance and the emotion that is portrayed basically at the end.
Exactly. Because, I mean, Titanic is not about the ship Titanic. That's just the tool that they're using. The film is about something far more universal. It's about two people who could have been so good together, just didn't end up together. You know, it's something that everybody relates to. Similarly, Lion King is not about a lion who talks, but the Lion King is about losing someone and stepping into the shoes, you know, and having faith in yourself. So suddenly you realize that actually sometimes we think that a film is just a gangster film, but actually it's not a gangster film. It says something far more. And that's how things become universal, you know. A lot of people, you know, when they write something, this is something that a screenwriter called Aaron Sorkin says, you know, most important question when you write something is not whether the other person liked it or not, because that is subjective. The first thing you need to do when you write something is, hey man, did you understand what I was writing? Did you understand what I wrote? You know, did my point come across to you? Whether they like it or not is secondary. It's not in your control. But what is in your control is the act of communication. That did you communicate yourself well? So when you're writing, and this is where things get fucked up in the world of Instagram and all, because people are busy counting the number of likes and the comments and the appreciation they get. But they never ask that, did you realize that I was trying to tell you a story about a mother and a daughter and how selfish mothers can be sometimes, you know, as opposed to just a like. So it's very important to ask people whether they understood what you were trying to do, as opposed to whether they liked what you did or not. And when you're writing, you have to keep things alive. You have to internalize. You have to make notes. Don't throw anything, because your subconsciousness is always working. Kitni baar hota hai? I mean, pretty sure a lot of you are in some form thinking about some startups and all that, and you know, raat ko sote you'll have a great idea, but in the morning you get up and you're like, fuck, what was that idea? It was such a good idea. Or you think about something that you wanted to say something to someone, but you forget in the morning. But your subconscious is working. You know, you need to keep making your notes alive. You have to be systematic and organized. Writing is a profession. It's not a hobby. You know? So you have to respect it like that. You have to be very systematic and organized. I have a very small chunk about little things, which will take me around 5 to 10 minutes. I'll only go over this if a lot of people know about little things, because otherwise it'll seem like kuch gyan de ke chale gaye. Okay, I'll just see for 10 seconds.
There is a lot of yeses pouring in the comments section.
Okay. So we'll go through this. So far, we've spoken a lot about stories which are essentially are plot driven, you know, objective and obstacles and all that. But what about a story without a plot, where there is really no story? How do we do this? So the one way I describe it is that it's about moments which are where we see an infinite amount of emotions in a small finite detail. I'll come to this more in aage jaake. An example of this is Lunchbox. There is, in this moment where he decides to not pursue her, it's not random, but we have this infinite details about him. And in this finite moment, it makes sense. You know, there's this really nice film called About Schmidt. Do people know about this film? So, simple story. It's about an American guy, Jack Nicholson plays the character, who takes an early retirement because he wants to just retire. A week after his retirement, his wife passes away. So he decides to travel all across America to meet his son and daughter, and spend time with them. But वो उनके पास मिलते हैं, उनको realize होता है ये सब तो बहुत busy है. Then he realizes he has absolutely nothing to do in life. He comes back home and he's about to kill himself, but a mail gets dropped to his house. You know, but all through his journey, you saw that this guy actually he enjoys life. He's a happy guy, but he doesn't have anything to live for. तो जैसे ही उसको लेटर आता है, वो लेटर खोलता है, तो हमें ये नहीं पता, बट बहुत सालों पहले उसने कोई चैरिटी में पैसे दिए होंगे अफ्रीका में, और जो लेटर है उसमें there's a stick figure of him and an African boy, and the उसके बाजू में उस बच्चे ने लिखा हुआ है थैंक यू फॉर पेइंग फॉर माय एजुकेशन, होप टू सी यू, जस्ट दैट. And he looks at it and he starts crying because he realizes that he has things to live for. Point being that an infinite amount of things about this person, but in a finite moment it makes complete sense. So little things, emotions to expressions. So how do we do this when we don't have a story? So we start by exploring the theme of the show, because the theme becomes the story. So when I was writing Little Things, the first season, I told myself I want to explore the honeymoon phase of the couple. I need the audience to fall in the good times of this couple in order for them to feel sad for them during their sad times. I can't have a tragic first season. Which basically meant that every season needs to represent a different time in the life of this couple, And back then I actually hadn't seen Before Sunset and Before Sunrise. Now I have seen all three of them. So it's very similar to that. You see a couple during different phases of their lives. So theme. So the first season ka theme tha the honeymoon phase. The second season ka theme tha what happens when the world comes in between a couple, which is very solid, Which is why in second season, every episode had an external person coming into the episode. First episode में उसका दोस्त था, फिर उसकी माँ आई, फिर ये लोगों के घर पार्टी करने गए, हर एपिसोड में कोई ना कोई बाहर का आदमी आ रहा था, and फिर ये एंड में शादी भी गए. So what happens when the world keeps interfering into a relationship? How do they fare? So I told the director, see man, this is what I want to explore. You tell me how you want to picturize this. So the director thought about this and he said, okay, so I need to have a lot of elements of the external world into the frames of Little Things. So you see the first frame जो ऊपर है, उसने जो बाहर की जो lights है, street lights है, he made it reflect on us to show that that they are always present, the idea of the world. Similarly, in the frame below, he took a lot of angles which would make you feel as if somebody is watching them through a door. These are all into the subconsciousness of the show. It's only when you start working on shows professionally do you need to think on these details, but they actually have an impact subconsciously. Again, on the top frame, you see them, but you're seeing them behind this glass. So you feel like तुम glass के पीछे खड़े हो, तुम इन दोनों को ऐसे देख रहे हो. And this is the second last moment of the season. And you see the same lights, you see the same street lights, but now they are hugging, almost like they've conquered the world. The last frame of the first season was a sketch of them. And what is a sketch? It's your representation of your relationship. But the last frame of the second season was a photo of them. And a photo, and not a selfie, like a photo. And a photo always involves a third person, because somebody has taken it. So again, it was always the idea that the world is present in them, but they've conquered it. So this is what the idea for the second season was. The idea of the third season was, can two people live their own lives and have dreams and hopes which are independent of each other? Which is why, Dhruv, fuck man, third season was so long back that I kind of feel confused about it. Which is why Dhruv kind of went and studied and Kavya wanted to go home, and they were doing things which didn't feature each other, and they were trying to see whether they can be happy by being their own people. So emotion. Now emotion to expression, this is where the whole infinite into finite will come. So second season mein jaise the idea, a boy from Delhi who lives in Bombay now, I keep अब तो नहीं आते मेरे दोस्त for some reason, but मेरे दिल्ली के दोस्त बॉम्बे आते रहते थे, and I always used to wonder what is this friendship, because you're not able to connect with them, but you have a very long shared history. So the first episode was about that who are your friends, and who are your old friends, and what does that friendship mean. So here you have the story of this guy who comes from Delhi, वो ध्रुव का दोस्त है, and then they spend time together. But the more they spend time together, they realize that, you know, actually they're not the same people, and they have so much of, they have so many disagreements, and they think totally different from each other. But the theme of the season was that, you know, what happens when the world comes between two people. And in the top shot, you see Dhruv says the line that, पता है अगर हम दोनों, अगर संदीप और मैं आज के दिन मिलते पहली बार तो शायद हम दोस्त नहीं होते. But the director chose to keep the camera on Kavya's face or on Mithila's face to show that maybe Mithila is thinking the same thing about their relationship. That, you know, in these 3 years, now I feel that maybe if Dhruv and I would have met today, maybe we would not have been together. You know, so this is how you build internal tension. And the next moment, which is infinite, there's this whole monologue. Sandeep tells Dhruv, you know, that one of our closest friends, forgetting his name, I think Parth, one of our closest friends from school actually passed away, and you don't even know that. Keshav, oh fuck, thank you, Urvi, man, lots of love to you. That Keshav passed away, and Dhruv doesn't even know that. So it actually means that he's come very far, and he's not even like there's so much of distance. And then you have this entire moment where Kavya tells Dhruv that you know, in your life you'll be lost, but the only way to not be lost is to come back to familiar places, and because they give you a sense of who you really are. And that's what my film teacher told me in Symbiosis when I was studying, that you guys are on a very difficult path and you'll be lost, but always come back to the places that you are from. You know, they'll help you kind of assist and bring you to the ground again. So because of all that had happened in the episode, Dhruv writes a Facebook message to Keshav's younger brother that, hey man, I heard that Keshav passed away a couple of months ago. I'm here. If you need anything, you let me know. So in that small finite moment of a man messaging his dead friend's younger brother that I'm there for you, you see an infinite detail. And what is that infinite detail? The infinite detail is that he's very different from his childhood friends, that there is a big distance between him and his friend, that he feels that he needs to reconnect, that his relationship is also suffering in some way. But even after all of this, his partner tells him that, you know, you need to come back to familiar places. And that's how the season ends. You know, in the 8th episode, Dhruv tells the same thing to Kavya, that, you know, we need to come back to familiar places. So the idea being that, you know, that Dhruv took this journey in the first episode, but actually in the entire season, the two of them took this journey. And they can only be good with each other if they come back to their relationship, and, you know, if they come back home in some sense. And the other objective of the show was to create an illusion of reality. Now, how do we create an illusion of reality? By having dialogues which are really lifelike. Now, for example, in the first one, you see Dhruv saying tub bath bitches, and Kavya corrects him, saying bathtub. But in the next one, see what Dhruv's dialogue is. By the way, this is what a screenplay looks like, guys. See the second last paragraph of Dhruv and the last line. Dhruv says, और building का काम क्या है? Plumber का नहीं. और वो building का काम है, plumber का नहीं. And see his last line. And it's not like you are going to enjoy the tub bath here. And Kavya says bathtub, and Dhruv says, हाँ वही यार. When we are fighting, what we are fighting, we are not really fighting for something other than some sort of power, right? And we gain power by making the other person realize that, you know, you're wrong. And you're wrong not because I disagree with you, but you are wrong because you're just a wrong person in that sense. Like, you know, you say things which are wrong to irritate them, right? The idea of the fight here is that that she says bathtub. Like, even in a serious fight, she's trying to correct him. But she's just trying to push him. She's just trying to irritate him. That's how we fight, right? We really try to get into each other's head. Similarly, see Kavya's first dialogue in the upar wala thing. Dhruv usko pura gyan deta hai. And Kavya bolti hai, what? Sit straight, no. And then Dhruv continues to give gyan. Jaise hota hai life mein, you know, that tum baat karte karte tum kuch bol dete ho. So we were trying to create an illusion of reality, because if we were trying to, a lot of people say that, you know, this one, Little Things is very lifelike. A lot of people say it's not lifelike, but for those people who say it's lifelike, because small details like these sort of add to it. You have a lot of things that kind of help you create an illusion of reality in a show. Na? You have the set, you have the props, you have the design, you have the music, you have the camera, you have the direction, you have the acting. So here you have the dialogues. Similarly, in the next one, in the next slide, Niche Wale mein, Kavya says a big dialogue and Dhruv ends it with saying, all this is nice, but उन्होंने पूरी बात तुम्हें ये सारी बात समझाई आइसक्रीम खाते खाते तो आइसक्रीम पिघली क्यों नहीं? It's like how friends talk. तुम ज्ञान देते हो, but दूसरा बंदा साला कुछ और ही बोलता है, right? So again, the idea is to create an illusion of reality. Okay, coming towards the end of the whole thing, all this is fine, and writing and chatting to hoti rahegi. But why do this? You know, why go through this entire pain of telling a story? Why go through this absolute torture at times to tell a story? And why be in this business where stakes are so high and you always feel anxious? This is my answer for it, and it keeps changing. And the reason why I've put this here is because this is my objective, you know, and everything in life is objective and obstacles, like for the character, just like just like I said, just like for ourselves. For me, the objective is to connect with yourself and your world, to make your understanding and eventually try and make the world a more empathetic place. That is my objective in life, and it may change, but for now, this is my objective. Most days, my objective is to just play with my cat and have coffee and not think about anything else. But I guess this is the real objective. Yeah, so I guess writing or not writing, I guess one thing that I will probably ask you guys is always define your objectives, because sometimes, you know, we think that we are too burdened and we are thinking too much, but maybe we just need to simplify things, and maybe we just need to write down one thing. What do I want? What can make me better? What can enrich me? And what do I do not want? And it simplifies things for characters, and it simplifies things for us also. Last bit, for those of you who are writers, I'll tell you how the best stories in the world are getting told right now, and all of them are great stories, especially in the world of TV. Ever since Sopranos and Mad Men and The Wire have started, this whole TV revolution is taking. Everybody says this is the best. Very few times in our life very few times will happen that we are alive at times of somebody achieving greatness, you know, or a scene achieving greatness, and we are alive in times where great TV content is getting made. So how is that happening? It's happening because people are blaming the romanticism. Does anyone recognize him? Who's the creator of graphic novels, such as V for Vendetta and Watchmen. You may have seen them, or you may have heard of them. You know what he did a couple of years ago? He took retirement from writing because he said, I can't do it anymore. And what does that say about somebody who takes retirement from something like writing? Like Daniel Day-Lewis, this actor, said that I'm taking retirement from acting. Naseeruddin Shah says that I've taken partial retirement from acting, film acting, because I can't do it. Now, people who take retirement from something, voluntary retirement, not like they're forced to take the retirement, are basically saying that I don't have it in me to give my best now. You know, I'm tired. And writing is that, you know, if you look at it as a job, which is what it is, you know, you will take retirement because the idea is to give your best till a certain point, and then you retire because you can do it after a point. And that's what the idea is, that you work in the form that you give your best. And this is what a writer's room looks like. This is the writing of season 3. It's a co-working space. This is where we wrote it. And when they were asking me what kind of office do you want, I said I want a co-working space, because that's where a lot of startup people are sitting and working day in, day out. And I wanted us to feel humbled by this opportunity, that somebody is paying you to tell a story. And we would feel humbled only when we see other people also working. So every day at 10 o'clock, we would come, just like the other workforce of India. And at 7 o'clock, we would leave, just like the workforce of India, you know. And people for 3 months didn't even know we are writers. They thought we are some startup guys. So there were like 8 startups in the co-working space, and we were one of them. And we would eat lunch sometimes together. The only difference is that we would eat really expensive lunch because Netflix was paying for it, and people were not eat that expensive lunch. But some perks are nice, I guess, when you're a writer. Embrace the craft, guys. Does anyone know him? Anyone? So here is this man called T.M. Krishna. He's a Carnatic musician. He had said something very interesting. He said something known as, he had said something that when you like a film, when you like a song, when you like something, don't say it is my kind of thing. And that's what we keep doing. Yeah, ये तो मेरी टाइप की फिल्म है, ये तो मेरे टाइप का गाना है, ये तो मेरी टाइप की जगह है. Because जब हम वो करते हैं ना, we put ourselves above the piece of art, and we are losing an opportunity here. What is the opportunity that we are losing? The opportunity that we are losing is that we stop thinking when we say this is my kind of a thing. When you don't say that, but you like something, the question that you need to ask is, I like this, but I need to know why I like this. Now, why? Why do that? Because for those of you who like a film like Tamasha or Jab We Met or Game of Thrones or Breaking Bad or whatever it is that you like, just ask yourself, why do I like it? Okay, I like it, but why do I like it? Now, for example, I love Rahul Dravid, but it's easy to say that I love Rahul Dravid, but why do I like Rahul Dravid? I like Rahul Dravid because I love the fact that he is dedicated. I love the fact that he seems simple-minded and he doesn't seem complicated. And I have anxiety. So when I see somebody who seems sorted, I feel a sense of peace, I like him because he's not selfish, like other cricketers. He plays for the team, So when you start dissecting the things that you like in life and asking them and asking yourself, why do I like them? Therein lies the answer of who you really are and who you really want to be and who are you from inside. It's an opportunity wasted when you don't ask yourself, why do I like an X film? So, not that I will ever meet you guys again. I hope I do, but I don't think we'll have an interaction like this ever again in our lives. But if I can ask for a small thing, maybe ask yourself, why do you like a particular band? Why do you like a particular song? Why do you like a particular place to go to? Like, I love some parts of Delhi. I love sitting at India Coffee House in CP. But why do I like it? I like it because I like to see where people are relaxed. I like to see some sunlight and I like to see a simple life. And I don't like going to Khan Market because I feel I'm conscious of myself. But at India Coffee House, I feel I'm not conscious of myself. So maybe I'm this kind of person who doesn't want to be in relationships that makes me conscious of myself. All I'm saying is that अगर तुम्हें कोई चीज पसंद है या ना पसंद है, तुम बस खुद से पूछो कि मुझे ऐसा क्यों लगता है, because that will give you a big insight into who you really are. Similar case with all arts. Ending with some photos of me working because I love my profession and I hate it on a lot of days, but at the end of the day, it brings me immense joy and calm. This is me having whatever cake and coffee sitting in Pune. This is me writing on some set. This is me writing in Goa. How beautiful. Somebody's paying you to tell your thoughts. What a beautiful profession, guys. This is my first writing table, which doesn't exist anymore. Sadly, my girlfriend gave it away. This is my current writing table, and the idea and the reason why the pizza is there because I was happy with the work that I did. We are too quick to be unkind and we are too quick to hate ourselves. I do that a lot, but we are not kind enough to treat ourselves nicely. The day you do something nice, the day you are happy with yourself, treat yourself. It could be with a pizza, it could be with a smoke, it could be with a run, it could be with a beer, or it could be just with a longer sleep or an afternoon nap. But be kind to yourself. The world is cruel, It's not as cruel as I'm making it sound to be, but the world is not the best place to live, but you have to be kind to yourself. Okay, we have some time if people have questions.
Yes, sir.
If you have questions, you can ask me.
Questions right now.
And thank you guys. Thank you for listening, by the way. I know
Thank
it's
you
not
so much,
easy.
sir. Like, it was really engrossing, but yeah, I guess we have some time left. We'll be taking a few questions. Like, people will be just sort of pouring that in the comment section, and I'll just read that out.
Okay. No worries, thank you, thank you. When is season 4 coming? It'll come sometime this year. I think it'll come in June, July. Or it'll come in October, April. But आ ही जाएगा, इस साल तो आ ही जाएगा. हमने तो shooting खत्म कर दी. Does it highlight any of my personal experiences? Yes, it does. It does. It highlights a lot of my personal experiences, but mainly it highlights a lot of things that I feel about life.
Somebody has asked, like, when did you take up writing, or like decided to take up writing as a career, or you know?
It happened very organically. I worked for a startup called Pocket Aces, who created Filter Copy and Dice Media. I was the second person that they hired. Startup था तो सभी सब करते थे, so I would do camera and I would do writing. So मतलब खुद से हो गया था. But when I was working on documentaries, the director had said, and back then I wanted to be a full-time actor, and I don't think I want to be that ever in my life. He said the only way you can be an actor is if you have the material, or if you have the capability to write your own stories and tell your own story. You know?
Yes, sir. And how do you view the craft of story writing? Like, is it something intrinsic or inbuilt, or that can be sort of developed? Like, do you think that, you know, there are storytellers that are sort of born, like Jeffrey Archer often sort of says that?
I think that is the case also. Just like in cricket and in sports, you know, a Messi is a born talent. A Ronaldo is not a born talent. He worked hard. Sachin is naturally gifted. Dravid is not naturally gifted. So, but that doesn't mean that someone is better than the other. Just because you're naturally talented doesn't mean that you're better. You can still be better than the person who's most naturally talented.
Yeah, I guess we can move to the lighter section of this session. Some general questions. And okay, like, I guess somebody asks about the Indian education system, that basically in you know, the college, you don't sort of get the freedom to sit and, you know, analyze that, and I guess your creativity sort of gets barred to an extent. So
yeah, it does. Yeah, see, I don't know. You guys are SRCC. You know, you guys are far more an elite or a better college than Symbiosis, or which is where I studied. But the problem with that is that you guys are far more professional also, and you guys are far more. The idea of certainty is far more with you guys than with us, because we were slightly like Jokarna Kallo types. But and I don't know how it is in your field, but at least in my field, I can tell all the producers that I'm a gold medalist from IIT Chennai, and they wouldn't care, which is nice, you know, because nobody asks for your grades outside your homes and your colleges. At least that's been my experience in my field. So
I guess we have some blunt questions coming too. Like,
go for it.
Yeah, like, how do you sort of, you know, plan to go ahead with your, you know, career in films? And I mean, you know, basically in light of the scenario that basically exists in the Indian film industry as of now.
Yeah, it's a very good question, man. And all writers and everybody feels stuck because the censorship is, and the terrible environment that has been created is not just present outside, but it's present very much inside our minds also, you know. Literally every time I write something, I have to ask myself, how will this be received? Will I get hate for it? And not from people. You can take the hate, but you don't want the hate of the government, because it's scary. It's really, really scary. You know, there's no comms in the fact that I'm scared. But I also feel that there are ways to tell the stories that you want to tell and navigating. And there are inspirations all around the world. One makes the best films, you know, but they're the kind of the strict censorship laws that are there in Iran. They are nowhere. They can't show a gun in their film. They can't show people kiss. They can't show people touch each other. Yet they make the most beautiful and most romantic and most violent films. So I think there are ways around it. And I think if anything, this is a good opportunity for people to really push themselves and be creative and, you know, intelligent about things.
Yes, sir. I think we're almost done. We'll take just one last question. Like, what is, because it is a storytelling session, who is your favorite writer, or like who inspires you sort of? or set you on this path wherein you wanted to explore the various facets of storytelling or creative writing for that matter?
Really don't have a favorite writer, if I can be honest, but there are a lot of writers that I really, really love. I love Zadie Smith. I love Noah Baumbach. I like Greta Gerwig. Amongst the Indian writers, I love Nirmal Verma, Vinod Kumar Shukla. I love this Bangalore-based writer called Manu Bhattacharya. Yeah, these are the writers that I like the most right now.
Yeah, great, sir. Thank you, sir. I guess we have come towards the end of the session. Like
Thank
that
you.
was deeply absorbing and a keenly rejoicing session, sir. We have like
Thank you,
literally
yeah.
fallen in love with the idea of storytelling, and you very neatly and effortlessly dissected its dimensions, then established the connect with, you know, aspects from little things. That was highly engrossing too. And
Thank you.
thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, yaar. Here's my personal email ID. In case you guys ever are into writing and feel stuck, you can always email me. I think it's a small community and people need to look out for each other. And so take care, guys. Be good, do good.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank
for
you.
joining
Thank you
us.
for having me. Yeah. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.